Today, Armenia presents itself to the world as a unique combination of modern and traditional. Here one can see very old as well as very new architectural constructions, as for example Temple of Karni, 2nd century BC, Svartnot, 7th century, Fortress Castle Ambert, 7th century, and the church, 11th century. As for new constructions, there are Opera House, Republic Square, Swan Lake, House of Parliament, Cistern in Jermuk, new park built in 2008 called Lovers Park, which is in Japonic style, and some new married couples also go there. New built Northern Avenue. The same can be said about the art. There is the Matenadaran in Armenia, where one can see very old manuscripts. Here is a manuscript about Old Yerevan, which in old times was called Erebuni, 6th century BC. On some rocks has remained old cliff images. Here are some of them. Creation. Earth and birth of the moon, 4 races, 4 parts of the world, and cross, signs of origin of life and development. Eternal struggle of oppositions, and the human is the judge. Harmony of the relations of human and nature, cosmic mind. There are some places that show the old Armenian way of life. For example, the caves of Khanzores, where people lived from savage times till the half of 20th century. Karahunch, a group of stones with the help of which ancient people learned the positions of stars. Although Armenia is very small and is almost not seen on the map, it has a rich creative potential and spirit, which is seen with the help of its several talented people. As for example, famous Armenian composer Aram Khachaturian. Komitas, who has collected old Armenian national songs and dances from Armenian grandmothers and grandfathers and has written them with the help of notes. Charles Aznavour, singer living in France. Ivan Gasparian, who plays Duduk. Painter Hovannes Ayvazovsky. Painter Martiros Saryan. Architecture Alexander Tamanyan. Mesrop Martots, who has created the Armenian alphabet. There are also representatives of modern art, like jazz abstraction in Armenia. There is the notion of Armenian jazz, which is a unique combination of Armenian folk art and jazz. Among the representatives are Tatevik Hovanesyan, Artotunç Boyacan, etc. Today, Armenia lives with the rhythms of modern civilization, keeping some of its old traditions. Here, on the new roads, you can see many cars of the leading companies of the global market. The Soviet trams and trolleybuses have given their place to the new trolleybuses, modern buses, and minibuses. There are also many taxis by order and free taxis in the city, the prices of which are very reasonable. There is the metro, which is also very handy and cheap for traveling. Armenia has first in the world adopted Christianity in 301 and is also unique with the churches, monasteries and abbeys, which are very old. For example, Abbey Dadi, 1st century. The Armenian churches are very small in consideration with other churches of the world. In Armenian small churches, people enter to feel the existence of God, to feel how close is God to them. Maybe this is why, in Armenia, the relationships between people, between father and son, are very warm and friendly. And the tourist will not feel himself alone, even if he has nobody in Armenia. Church Srpot Arakelot in Peninsula Akhtamar, 10th century. Abbey Tatev in Goris, from 9th to 19th centuries. Goshavang, from 12th to 13th centuries. Nuravang, from 13th to 14th centuries. Mount Ararat and Khorvirab Monastery, 17th century. Armenia is also known for its khachkars, crosses that are very carefully carved by hand on a stone. And if one looks at khachkar carefully, he can see what an in-detail work is done on the stone. Here is an Armenian khachkar, 13th century. Armenia is called sunny Armenia because during the year it is mostly sunny weather than cloudy weather. Because of the sun and geographical position, fruit and vegetables in Armenia are very tasty, and the prices are reasonable. Here is an Armenian market. Armenia also has nice regions, as for example Dilijan, which has a beautiful nature and Armenians often go there on their holidays. Sanahin and Hakhpat monasteries in Dilijan. Zarkazor is also one of Armenian popular regions. It is known as a skiing resort and people often go there for their winter holidays. Armenia has nice mountains which give you special inspiration. Here are Gerama Mountains. Here is an interesting canyon in Garni which is called Stone Symphony.